All right, take two. Looking at OBS, making sure we're still green. And it says we're still green, so it should be fine. Hello everyone, we're the Peopleorians. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Trilogy. I'm Lujack, that's Taylor. And yeah,
He is a guinea baboon. I am a white-faced Saki.
yeah,
And
we've
you know it's funny that like that'll just retroactively be true because
yeah,
later, or not retroactive, proactively, where like when this is, by the time this is on YouTube, like we might just have the art already like uploaded.
yeah. That'd be great.
I want to reach a point where I want to reach a point where when we have a really good bit, like a really good, like we're on a roll and like we're both laughing, that someone like goes and makes like one of those animatics.
Oh
That's my
yeah, for
favorite
sure.
thing in the world.
For sure, that's how I'll know we've made it. I started watching, I'm catching up on all my MCU stuff right now, and I've started watching What If. And
Mhm.
the first episode was really cool. Captain Carter's a really cool concept, but
Yeah.
I can't help asking myself when Steve was like on the floor dying, why couldn't she just like pick him up and
Oh, just
carry
put
him
him in
to
there.
the table? Like, wouldn't the experiment have
It's
fixed his wounds anyway? He's a skinny twig and she's a soldier, or an agent at least. Like, she should be able to carry him.
it's
And if not,
been
I
a
feel like
while
there
since
were
I saw
enough
the
people in
episode.
that room for someone to have carried him. Like, I love Agent Carter, and getting to see Steve Rogers as basically Iron Man, but in World War II was pretty cool. But like I can't get over how kind of dumb it is that no one could just like pick him up and carry him over. Like it's
Go
so
on without me.
it's so weird. It's so weird to me. Uh
My favorite meme from when they announced Marvel What If was Marvel's What If I were to procure fast food and disguise it as my own cooking? Delightfully
uh,
devilish, Seymour.
delightfully devilish Seymour. Anyway, so yeah. Here we are, going
Oh, and
far.
our yeah, to catch you up, if this is your first episode, not sure why it would be, but there's always a chance.
Yeah.
Um, you're investigating a murder. A guy was stabbed with the steel samurai pole thing, and we know the guy who got stabbed, but not who stabbed him, and we know that the perp was dressed as the steel samurai. So pretty much everything will probably revolve around that, of who could get access to the costume. And then the thing that's messing with me is that is Old Big the guard is like attentive, like probably attentive enough, or she's suspicious enough that she would probably like notice if someone was wearing someone else's costume. And so that's why when I oh, hold on, I gotta get my volume up so I can hear the game. Can you hear the game?
Yeah, I can hear just fine. It's just that there's no music on right now.
Oh. It's weird when it's quiet.
Yeah, it is.
Phoenix, I can hear my own heartbeat. It's weird. I had a bunch of coffee and it was at the Ace Hardware with my brother, and
Oh, okay, we're getting
you
a
know,
Maya dialogue.
have you ever had like a bunch of coffee and your entire digestive system is like, all right, let's get this thing moving, and your body just produces sounds. Oh, look,
Uh,
Samurai Soda. Try this. Sorry, I'm a little late.
oh, wait,
Samurai
am I
Soda.
sharing it? Like I didn't forget to share it again, did I?
Nick, drink Samurai Soda. It'll help you see faster.
Nick, drink the samurai soda. It's good for your samurai powers, Nick.
Got electrolytes.
Uh,
Where was it? Right, but like you would think, well, if she's suspicious of everyone, well, pretty much everyone but Jack Hammer, then it makes a lot of sense that she would. Oh yeah, I'm not hearing the little beep 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 bits.
oh, you're
Nick, you know a lot
not?
about the industry.
That,
Wait, hold on. Let me do. Oh no, that's my fault. I muted it. What the heck? Okay.
what, bruh.
False alarm. You must know a lot about the industry.
What else would they keep in a film studio? He's got a point.
They probably keep film in there.
Right. But yeah, she's suspicious enough that she, what were you saying?
Especially if they had like a decent amount of like a height difference or something, she'd be like, she would notice the pants.
She
If
would
the
have
pants
noticed,
are
she would have
fold, you
noticed the
must
pants. You know,
behold.
I'm honestly starting to wonder if they're just supposed to be like those weird, like weirdly long pants that like cover more than they should but are somehow still fine. Cause I feel like there's pants like that that look like they're too long,
I
but
remember
but
discussing this our
but
first time around, and my theory was that they had all the sprites like ready to go, and the pants were like a key thing. And then they last second they like took it out, but they forgot to make new art for the pants. And so the pants are just never. We'll get there,
we'll get
folks.
there.
We'll get there.
We'll get to the
We got
pant. We'll get to the
something
too
to look
long
forward
pants.
to. You got to see the pants.
The pants are ridiculous. It makes me so mad. The remains of yesterday's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's T-bone on one of the plates, minus the steak.
T-bone steak. I would have hit the spot of murder.
Murder. You just had a burger.
And I'm very hungry. Yeah, but I have a I have a second stomach just for steaks.
Of course you do. What? That's not a thing. That would never be a thing. Yeah, there's your steak stomach and your burger stomach and your dessert stomach. There's always room
Yeah,
for ice
like a
cream cone.
cow, except with like different inputs.
Yeah. There's always room for ice cream fun.
It's good where I can see you through this little window.
Thank you, me, person doing my voice. The glass is frosted so I can't see inside.
Phoenix, you okay?
Yeah. Totally fine.
Going through some kind of.
Why?
Are you
What's up?
turning into a beetle? What's going on?
No, I'm part ether demon.
I
So
thought.
so every once in a while I just turn into like the first lawyer guy that you saw at the beginning.
Oh no. You're part nobody, and then it just cut to like Fortnite editor add in like a Fortnite dancing Roxas with a bunch of nobodies, and it's playing Mitsuki's Nobody.
The door to the dressing room is locked. It's not locked.
Yeah, that okay. This is important because I assume that all of his equipment was in his trailer, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But Will Powers has a trailer, and he has a dressing room. So he wakes up in the morning, he walks down to the dressing room and gets dressed, which means that if he wasn't dressed and he was taking a nap, someone could have just gone into his dressing room, put on the outfit, and then gone to the other studio.
Yeah. Meh. Did you read
Yeah.
that?
Hey, Nick, let's take a look inside. Take a look. It's in a book, Reading Rainbow. Maybe we can find something as a souvenir, as long as it's not like a cursed item or.
Maybe we can find something that's in a book to take home as a souvenir. What do you
Bring
mean
home some
find?
knowledge.
Bring home some knowledge, yo. What do you mean find?
You never know. There might be something like the samurai spear. We already know the samurai spear is occupied at the moment.
We don't need a spear! I mean, I disagree. And that's the murder weapon for crying out loud. Okay, yeah, fair, but we definitely need a spear, Nick. Everyone needs a spear.
It would be funny if that was like not like a spear, but like if that was like a big twist, is that you have a villain who's like who's like, aha, and I've got the muscle or whatever, and you'll never get me. And then like then Phoenix Wright's like, oh, well, I have a a stick with a pointy end, and he's like, ah, that's more than I bargained for.
Haha! Didn't see that coming. October 16th, Global Studios dressing room. Powers' dressing room. So this is where he was sleeping. Or at least this is where he claims he was sleeping.
Ah, because he has a trailer, but he could have been taking a nap. Oh, that's another good
Yeah.
point. That technically, even if he was taking a nap in here, someone, if they were, I suppose, quiet enough, could have
Yeah.
could have gotten in here.
Yeah, they could have.
No one actually saw him taking a nap here, did they?
Nah. Right, and there's a picture of him near the crime scene. I hope he's telling the truth, for his sake.
For his sake.
Examine.
Let's examine this room.
Let's examine this shit.
Sorry, there's a dog behind me. She's giving me
Doggos.
little kicks.
Doggos. There's some regular suits in among the costumes here. Those must be his own clothes.
Hey, he's got the willpower tie.
The willpower tie. Brought to you by
It'd be
Willpowers.
fun to wear one of the costumes. I mean, and if you switch if you switch them out, no one would be the wiser. They'd be like, ah, yes, a shrine girl costume. That makes sense.
I'd say you were already wearing one myself. It's locked. Looks like he doesn't open his window much. I guess it is kind of dusty outside.
A
There.
hairpiece.
Was that
Hairpiece.
hairpiece?
That's what you touched.
There's a vast array of cosmetics here.
Phoenix, you're turning into a beetle again. Their beetle noise is just
Beetle.
training at nothing in particular. Ooh.
Is your
I want to
line?
be like, ooh, interested, but my sprite says, ooh, startled.
Ooh.
This is the wiki used in Samurai Boogie Woogie.
I wear a wig because I'm really Blaine, the Gem Master. Does anyone else remember that, or is that just me?
Um, I looked up trainer like Pokemon trainers recently because I wanted to find all the normal type trainers. And the good news is there's like lots of people on Etsy that make Pokemon badges, but the bad news is I couldn't find one that sold them individually. I guess because it makes sense that everyone wants a complete set, but I wanted to get my brother the basic badge for fighting a normal type. It was like in one of the regions where you fight a normal type gym leader, and they're like, "All right, you've mastered the fundamentals. You know how to beat normal type Pokemon."
Good job.
And it looks like the spine of a book, so it's just like a purplish rectangle. It's like, there, have your basic badge, you
uh,
basic bee.
the most basic of badges. As a kid, I like to reference one of the gym masters from like the early Pokemon cartoon, like the first season. Hey, Jenny's here. You fucked them up good. Thanks,
He's been
Jenny.
here.
Not sure what that's in reference to. Oh, is it in reference to the Pokemon gym leaders?
And like
No, but
the thing is, I love the concept of normal type trainers, and there have been like a handful of them. The problem is that I don't think there's enough normal type Pokemon that are like really high tier. Like they always have a type.
right.
Like there isn't a Pokemon that's just like a normal type, and it's like, I don't know, an elephant. Like it's not a rock type, it's not a ground type, it's just normal.
As a kid, there's this very specific gym leader that always stuck with me. I believe his name was Blaine, but
Right.
he was the lava guy with the Magmar. If y'all don't remember, like the epic battle between Magmar and Charizard, and there was lava. Like it was in a. I remember it being one of the coolest things I ever saw as a child. But keep in mind, I had no taste in like anything as a child, so like it could have been like one of the worst bits of Pokemon ever for all the fuck I know. But it looked really fucking cool at the time. Um, and I hope it still holds up because that would be cool if it did. But the main thing I remember is this guy Blaine, I believe was his name. Throughout the whole episode,
I
the
did
whole
find
episode
a
was
fire type trainer called Blaine from the Cinnabar gym,
yeah,
which would have
yeah.
been relatively early. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah. But his whole thing was like throughout the episode, he's this kind of like he's disguised as this sort of mystery dude, and there's this whole like mystery game of like you have to find him, and then you have to challenge him, because like I guess that's part of the the weird gym game
So
that you have
he's
to
like,
do before the actual
so he's
fight.
he's like one of those trendy underground clubs.
Yeah, yeah, and
It's
he
a,
just shows up in like a wig, like looking like some hippie dude, and he disguises his voice, cause like his real voice is like, I wear a wig because I'm really Blaine, the gym master. But while he's disguised for the whole episode, he's like, Hey man, I'm some kind of hippie dude. Here's a bunch of riddles that I'm gonna throw at you to help you find the gym master, and
you know what would? Oh,
I
sorry,
yeah, and like the
Blaine the gym
whole
master.
yeah, the whole what were you gonna say?
I was just imagining, like, what if Pokemon had like an Uatu the Watcher situation where there was a Pokemon and they're the one who's been narrating all this time. So, like it zooms out and there's this funky little alien who's like floating around, who's like translucent, like he can phase out. And he looks at the camera and he's like, "Until next time, the journey continues." And you're like, "It's been him all along. He's been watching."
That'd be
It's
amazing.
the narrator. It's dialectic. No, diegetic. It's in universe.
That's funny. But no, so the whole episode just had this running gag of like Ash coming up with the dumbest answers and Misty eventually getting it right. Like one
Oh,
of
because
them
he has
was,
like
"What do
riddles.
tourists think was hot and cool?" And Ash was like, "Oh, I know. If you lie down in front of an open refrigerator and wrap yourself in an electric blanket, you'll be hot and cold at the same time." It's like, no, Ash, that's not how that works. That's too elaborate. You jump through all kinds of hoops for that one, Ash. But yeah, and then just the big reveal when he's like, I'm really Blaine, the gym master. And it was just kind of this underwhelming. Like, at first it was like, what? But then when he was like, I'm really Blaine, they were all like, yeah, you know, I should have guessed that.
I
Uh,
who it's got me thinking like so I love when a character's like main skill isn't the skill that they actually use in their day-to-day job. And like Mabel Pines is like ridiculously good at arts and crafts, but like she's just like she's was an elementary school student. Like she doesn't like do that while she's investigating things in the woods or if she was at school or whatever. That's just it's just there.
Arthur
Well,
Morgan can just casually draw
oh
like
yeah.
crazy good with like so can Ellie from Last of Us.
Yeah, Arthur Morgan, Ellie, what was it? Uh, Jonas from Stargate. I was gonna add him to the list of characters that are almost comically good at drawing, but because they like keep it low profile, like no one comments on it.
Yeah, like they could probably make a living as an artist if they wanted to, but they're just like, ah man, artist life
Yeah,
is such a hassle, I'm not doing that.
well, like in that same thing, in that same vein, like I love the concept that in universe, Team Rocket, specifically like Jesse James and Meowth, are really good at making costumes and disguises. And they take great pride they it's we do know that like they take great pride in their costumes, which is why like the I don't know, they're always like just full body like outfits and stuff. And it had me it had me thinking like, you know, if they weren't I if they weren't in like if they could figure out how to get out of the life, you know, of a criminal organization, like that's where their main like money would be. Like
Yeah, they
sure
just
they're
make
cooking
costumes for people.
it's like sure they're working at like a food truck making malasadas or whatever, and maybe they could get like a day job at like Aether Corp as long as what's his name isn't bossing them around. But at the end of the day, no, they could just run a like a tailoring shop. Like I'm pretty sure making fashion was like on Jesse's like list of things she wanted to do.
They could have like their own sort of cosplay shop.
Yeah, and that's
Uh,
the funny thing is like uh that's the funny thing is that you have to assume, and this is getting kind of deep into the weeds, but you have to assume that there's like they're in such a post scarcity society that like there's only like one or two when you have like a tailor or something in town, you end up just not having a second one.
right,
So maybe that's why it's difficult for them to find work. It's like, oh yeah, everything is super easy to do and stuff, and you have to find one place in the world that like doesn't already have a costume shop.
right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there isn't a Pokemon equivalent of Halloween, so they need more excuses to go in costume.
Dude, I never even thought about Pokemon holidays. You gotta read your line.
I just realized that they in the Alola region they have a Mimikyu, but they never disguise the Mimikyu. Like Mimikyu's whole thing is that it wants a good disguise. Like if they wanted to make it like
Bro,
look
bro, bro,
like
bro,
a realistic Pikachu, they probably could.
bro, you gotta read your line.
This is the wig he used. Oh, I read that line.
Oh, did you?
This is the wig he used in Samurai Boogie Woogie.
Oh, my bad.
It's 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 kind of like a samurai shampoo.
It's like,
Shampoo? No.
is it shampoo? I think it is shampoo. Samurai shampoo.
Yeah, it's shampoo, which I think if I remember an anime reviewer person mentioning that if you were to like actually translate it, it would be something like samurai mixtape, and that's because it feels like a sort of anthology or like a
Sam,
series of short stories.
samurai
And I'm like, yeah,
shampoo.
I feel like samurai mixtape would be a really good title. It's surprising that it wasn't localized that way.
Samurai shampoo
Try this on.
versus Jack's.
Put it on your head.
Samurai shampoo versus Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai versus I don't know Arya Stark or something. Man, is multiverses gonna turn into like that Smash Bros meme where like half of the cast is just people with swords? Because I'm not gonna
With the
complain if
samurai
it does,
jack.
but it's gonna be hilarious if that happens.
I'm trying to think about like the weirdest thing they could add, and honestly, I feel like we haven't tapped into the well of Warner Bros. Shows, live action shows that Warner Bros. Has that aren't like genre or book
No!
shows. You know, like outside of like CW, although technically it'd be really funny to have like a live action CW like character version of like the Flash or something, like all stylized in multiverses.
As like a skin or something. Dude,
Yeah, but
yeah,
like that's how
Flash
they're interesting.
Flash would be cool in multiverses. Man, I'm excited to see where multiverses goes. Like it's the
They
concept
could
is
have
cool.
Samurai Jack.
They could have Samurai Jack and I hope they do. Man, I hope more stuff happens with multiverses. Multiverses is fun.
Airline.
And how can you tell the name of a show just by looking at a wig? Because I'm a big fan
Label. Oh,
person. Don't worry about it.
I'm kind of like samurai movies.
Kind of like super obsessed. Kinda.
I feel you know how we had that like whole San Francisco gag where it's like, oh, they're in America and Japan and a nondescript neutral location. Well,
Hold up,
that's
hold
the
up,
same
hold
thing
up,
going
hold
on
up, hold
here.
up before we get off the subject of multiverses, not in Stevenson says, what about the
Oh,
Atom?
hey,
And
not
to
the end.
that I say, yeah, Adam would be cool. I feel like Adam's kind of underrated. Adam is one of those characters that, like, as a kid, much like Aquaman, I thought, oh, he shrinks, what a weenie. But then I got older and realized, like, there's a lot of cool shit you could do with, like, size altering powers.
I think he was they added him to one of the Injustice games, and I always got a giggle of how his like crouch to like duck under attacks is just he just gets small really quickly.
Yeah.
Like there's something really funny about like just shrinking so you dodge an attack.
Yeah. There's a bunch of snacks on the table. They must give these to the employees. Some tea and cookies.
I'm hungry. Why are you so?
Why are you so hungry? You just had a burger.
Yeah, but I have a separate stomach for sweets.
I already fucking called the sweet stomach shit. Maya, everyone says that. How many stomachs does this girl have? But what were you?
Actually, you might have a worm.
Yeah, maybe you're just not getting any of the nutrition. Maybe that's why you're starving all the time.
Maybe you had wait. Maybe you had a. What if she's got like a gluten allergy? Like she had the hamburger and her body is just straight up going like, "Oh, I can't digest this. I'm not actually creating absorbing any nutrients. Also, I'm going to shut down."
Right. You were saying something earlier, and I can't remember what it was.
We were talking about multiverses. I mentioned Adam dodging with just
Yeah,
getting small really
yeah, but
quickly.
before that, you were gonna start talking about something else, and I don't remember
I
what it
was also
was.
thinking about I was thinking about how Warner Bros has like a lot of big properties, but I was thinking like they probably own like a lot of sitcoms. Can you imagine if they just like they were just like, "Hey, here's a show. It's not a it's not a DC show. It's not related to Game of Thrones. It's not related to or to Harry Potter like their major stuff. it's it's not animated. It's like one of our sitcoms and here's a character that would be really funny if they showed up in multiverses.
What character is that?
I don't know.
Would it be
I think
Freakazoid?
people are
Is
making
Freakazoid Warner Bros?
oh, he's a cartoon.
Well, yeah, but is
That'd
he
be
Warner
interesting.
Bros?
Probably.
No one would expect that.
I
Oh no,
think
I
the
can't think of
joke was
anyone
that
live
people
action.
wanted to add Walter White and or Saul Goodman, and I
Ah
was
man,
like, "Wait, are they owned by Warner Bros?"
wait, are they? That would be amazing. I'd play as Jesse Pinkman. Jesse and Walter would both have like would like throw these like meth jars or something like they were Plague Knight from Shovel Knight. They just bounce around throwing these like meth bombs that explode.
So, oh, fun fact: Warner Bros. Also owns the Terminator franchise, so theoretically, they could just have the Terminator, which is would
Ah,
be very easy for a fighting game because like we know that's done, not in the same style of fighting game, but yeah, I feel like that would be very straightforward, and the trick would be making sure that it isn't too straightforward.
wait,
It's like, oh yeah, he's got like a shotgun move, and he's got like a magnetic bomb that can stick to an enemy or whatever.
are they gonna add Harry Potter to multiverses? Cause I kinda don't want them
But I
to.
think they have to do like special licensing.
Like,
It would be really funny though if multiverses was what like separated the wizarding worlds from J.K. Rowling. Like, it was the first thing that didn't give her not subsidies, like royalties or whatever.
that'd be
They're
great.
like, no, we have the license to the wizarding world, and it's not Harry Potter. It's in the Harry Potter universe, which, as you see in the fine print here, yes,
Yeah,
we'll
that
have
would
Newt Scamander, and he'll be like one of those summoner classes where all of his moves is just him
that
opening a bag and just a thing popping
I
out.
kind of don't want them to add Harry Potter because, like, I mean, no disrespect to Harry Potter fans out there, but I kind of think the franchise is kind of weenie already, and the fact that it's made by a turf just makes me hate it.
I want it to be free. I want it to transcend.
If it could like
I want it
somehow
to go the
transcend
same
J.K.
way.
Rowling and like her not have rights to it anymore, that would be great.
I want to pull a full like HP Lovecraft where like it's like it just goes up in the air and she like dies or something, and they're like, oh well, anyone can use this property now.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. Jenny
Can you
says
imagine if Harry Potter became like public domain?
that'd be crazy.
Like, just
I want
I'd
that to
love to see
happen.
that.
That'd be great. Jenny says, meth, my favorite, Jesse. Ha ha ha. Thank you. And Stevenson says, I heard Warner Bros. Is getting rid of some animated series on HBO Max. Yeah, they took off Infinity Train right as I was about to start watching it, and I had to go to a different website to watch it. And it made
I
me
just have the most
mad.
cursed. I
Like,
have the most cursed. I was looking through the things that Warner Bros owns,
yeah.
and you know how Iron Giant can finally meet Superman, which is
Yeah,
just
which
lovely.
I mean,
We
let's
could
be
finally
real.
have.
Everyone loved that moment when we saw
All right,
that like
that's
game
beautiful.
trailer and Iron Man came down like Superman and Superman was like, "All right, we're going to work together." Man, if y'all
Okay,
watched
so
Iron Giant, you definitely had the feels on that. You were like, "Oh, he gets to be this hero."
blessed idea. Just add Ivy, obviously. If Harley's there,
Well,
just add
yeah,
Ivy. Done.
but
Cursed
obviously.
idea. Add the Flash, and he can be the animated series Flash, or the skins can be like animated series Flash, various live action versions of Flash, that sort of thing. But then the Flash can finally meet his, or not his idol, his biggest fan, the characters from Big Bang Theory.
Wait, is Big Bang Theory Warner Bros?
Big Bang Theory, according to this list here, um, the show The Big Bang Theory. Let's see here. Multi-camera, Dolby Digital, yada 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 yada.
Looks like someone was sleeping here. Maybe Powers did take a nap here yesterday. Maybe he did.
It's on.
Let's see, Studio
Let's see. It was filmed in front of a
Bang.
live audience, produced by Chuck Lorre Productions and Warner Bros. Television.
So they are Warner Bros?
Yes.
Man, I don't
Maybe
even
have
want
a maybe have a Link and Young Link situation where you can play
to.
regular or young Sheldon. But the young
Ah.
Sheldon is like Toon Link for no reason, and they never explain it because it's because they'd have to legally defend it. They'd have to be like, "Oh, well, it's based on Toon Link." They're like, "No, we don't explain it. It's just young Sheldon is a cartoon with a big head."
Can we just pretend like Young Sheldon doesn't exist? I didn't actually watch a
But
lot
my
of it.
joke
I
though is
saw a
so
few
good.
episodes, but I
Just
feel like
imagine all of his moves are just with props from his room that sort of work as weapons.
but I feel like I've seen a few episodes of Young Sheldon, but I feel like Young Sheldon doesn't really need to like exist, you know? Like as a concept, I feel like we didn't need a prequel about Sheldon Cooper. Like it feels so unnecessary and weird. That would be funny if they
Yeah,
were both in
it
multiverses though.
just I just keep looking through here, and there's so many things
You
that they have the rights to, like Mad Max. That would be pretty easy to make a moveset for.
I have never seen a Mad Max movie.
Really,
Yeah,
I also have not, but I played one of the games.
I want to though. That's your line.
They own the rights to Willy Wonka, just Willy Wonka going and beating up people.
His special power is like trapping you on like a spooky boat and just like paralyzing you with fear.
Oh, that's his side special. He just like runs you over with the.
The danger must be growing!
Oh. Yeah, and his like taunts or something is like, I don't know. Oh, his up like recover ability special is like the elevator, but it's like Pikachu's recover from Smash Bros, where it can go up and then sideways or up and down to like fake people out.
I
Hmm.
could see it.
This must be Powers' bag.
Uh... Hey, don't open that!
Look,
An employee card key. Excuse me. That must be the. Why can't I stop yawning?
look, Phoenix, a rope. We can use this to traverse pits.
Thank you, random
I'm
meme character.
I am gonna keep scrolling through here for funny ideas of what to put in the multiverses.
Yes. An employee card key. That must be Powers is. It says Studio One.
Let's take it, Nick.
Borrow it, you mean? We're definitely returning this when the case is done.
Oh man, the Big Bang Theory. Not because it's good, but just the concept of how like the Toon Link thing is so funny.
Man, I'm just trying to fathom what that would like look like. You know,
He would use
multiverses.
bunch of. Oh, he'd have that like targeted ability where if he hits someone with like Lysol, they get targeted or something like they get some kind of debuff.
I'm trying to think of like how that would all work lore-wise, but like multiverses doesn't really have much lore, and I feel like that's like the one thing missing from it. I want there to be multiverses lore. I want there to be like a story as to what's going on. Jenny says it's banging time. They always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. I see my hair is still nice and spiky, just how I like it. Yeah, hopefully no one ever tries to like imitate it in a live action format. That'd be fucking weird
Yeah,
and
it
creepy
doesn't
looking.
look good.
It's like trying to make
Sure, rather.
Finn live action. Why would you do that?
Well,
Like, why would anyone think that's a good idea?
at this point, I'm not looking for good ideas. I'm looking for funny ideas. Like, sure, let's add like one of the aliens from V. Oh, don't they just look like humans? Yes. And they're not really known for like using a bunch of technology because the series is like a drama where they're subtle about everything. Yeah. So they're just running around punching people? Yeah.
Yeah, but they're aliens.
Yes, but they're an IP.
But they're an IP. You're lying.
I mean, okay, but legit though, Supernatural is on their list, and like, it's just obvious. It makes sense, right?
Supernatural is on my list of shows that I've been like meaning to check out,
I
but
would like
just
to watch
haven't
that
yet.
show with you. That would be like our Stargate, where we just watch that and critique it, and it's like, was this good? Was this not good?
I'd be down with that. Maybe we could do a podcast about it.
I actually legit forgot this. I'm at the bottom of one of the lists. I'm in X. Shaolin Showdown. Like, yes,
Challenge Showdown, I
obviously.
remember
That should
them.
definitely be in
How were they
the
not
multiverses.
already in multiverses?
Plus, it would be a plus they can save money because they could just get Tara Strong. You could just get Tara Strong to play Omi again.
Yeah, yes.
It must be weird, like if they do all the recordings on the same day and the voice acting like room or whatever is like 9 people, and then Tara Strong is just like half the cast. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna be playing Ben 10. I'm gonna be playing Raven. I'm gonna be playing half of the characters from childhood.
uh, right. Hold on a minute. Be right back.
That's some Mucha Lucha in there.
Oh yeah, Mucha Lucha would be cool.
Uh,
Read your line, Taylor.
sorry. Wonder what else is inside the Powers' bag.
Sorry, I have to get
Let's find out.
back to my chair. I had to do something.
Oh,
Uh,
that's right. Yeah.
let's find out. Stop that! My partner, the thief in training. Okay, anything else? Anything else here? I don't think there's anything else. Looking around with my
The
magnifying
tea, the
glass.
bag, the walls.
Couch, window, mirror, wick. I think that's everything. Now,
And of course, like Scooby Doo, Powerpuff Girls. That makes sense.
Scooby-Doo this shit. Please, Scooby-Doo this shit. Let's see. Employee area. Dressing room. Oh no, we were just in the dressing room. What am I doing? Employee area.
It would be beautiful though.
Main gate.
It would be beautiful if they added Enid from OKKO, made her like ridiculously competitive, and then just left it like that. Where everyone's like, "Wow, Enid's really cool," and it says she's from a show called OKKO. I haven't heard of that.
I'm streaming right now. What's up? Yeah. No. Okay. So Studio Main Gate? No. Well, I want to go to Studio 1 though. I kinda thought I'd be able to go there now that I have this freaking Studio 1 card key. Ah, I didn't mean to click on that. Could you tell me about this, ma'am?
Oh, oh, isn't that the studio card key? Better watch it. Watch both sides of it. The scene of the murder.
Put it on your nose, and you can see both sides at the same time.
The scene of the murder is no place for sightseeing. I'll be taking that. Hand it over.
Well, wait, no, that's mine.
Look, I don't have a card key to the studio. See? I go pay my respects to Jack Hammer where he died.
So it couldn't have been her unless she had.
Well, you'll just have to wait. Yeah, get out of here. So, wait, what? Should she have a card key?
I feel like she should.
Yeah,
But
that's.
On top of that, on one hand she should, but on the other hand, if her like jurisdiction is just like the entrance area, she doesn't. No.
So we still can't go into Studio 1 though. Do we need to go back to the employee area?
Wait, we can't go to Studio 1?
Well, I mean, it's not giving us any option to.
Go to the main gate, and then I think you can go to Studio 1.
Main gate. I can go to outside Studio 1,
1,
but there's no option to actually go to Studio 1. So
Let me think here.
I guess we don't have like a reason.
Oh, what
to
are our
go there
what's our like evidence bits? 'Cause we
Oh
haven't
yeah,
established
maybe we
how
can
many-
show something to this guy.
Oh, we
Yeah, what
could,
if we
maybe.
showed this guy our card? Hey, check this
Here,
out.
have my card. Hey, detective, take a look at this. What was that?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't show him that. He'll confiscate it.
Aw, wanted to show it off.
Okay.
This is
okay.
an envelope.
Jack's autopsy report, guide map. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go talk to Will. Maybe he has something new to say. Stevenson says the one where they find Chinese artifacts? Symbiotic Titan? No. Yeah, Shell and Showdown is the one where they find Chinese artifacts. Symbiotic Titan is a show I know of, but I don't really know anything about it. I only know that
I
it's
just
like a show
got
that
Jenny's
exists.
joke, and I'm sorry it took me that long.
The banging time?
Yeah, because it's morbing time, but it's the it's Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
See, my brain just went to like the gutter when I saw that line. I wasn't even
Yeah,
thinking
exactly.
of
I didn't
Morbius.
think it through.
October 16th, Detention Center Visitors Room. Ellipses.
Apparently, they have Mr. Powers in questioning.
No! Right.
It'd be funny if that was questioning and you could just see a sprite loaded in behind her. Like with this, like, but they're taking up like the exact same like space, so that it's just clumsily like layered.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Is Generator X Warner Bros?
I don't know if Warner Bros. Necessarily owns every single thing on Cartoon Network, but it's a good bet. Which is why I would say, actually, dude, Generator X would be perfect for a fighting game because he can just make machine stuff. That'd be really cool.
Generator X is another show that I've always wanted to see but have never gotten the chance to, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I had an idea. I realized that like as you get later into the into Ben 10 and he gets more and more aliens, like you realize that some probably aren't used as much because they have gimmicks that other aliens do better.
Right.
And I was thinking, oh, well, you should combine Diamond Head with like another ability, like something that can dig, but I can't remember what I named it.
Hmm. Yeah. I like that. Some of his Alien Force aliens were just like either different versions of what he already had or like combined versions of what he already had. Like Swampfire is just straight up Heat Blast and Wildvine. Like he's literally just Heat Blast and Wildvine like mashed together.
Yeah, although
And
he
and like Humongousaur is kind of like Waybig in the sense that he's a giant, but Waybig still gets use based just on the fact
well,
that
that's the
even
thing.
with
I
how
love
huge Humongousaur can get, Waybig is still like the biggest alien in existence.
that's my favorite thing about Way Big is the concept that like I mean, I would like him to have like more gimmicks. If anything, if he's kaiju like, I would make it that he also has like a beam attack and like a tail or
I
something.
think he does have
But
a beam attack, doesn't he?
maybe he
I
does.
feel like he had a
Uh,
beam attack at some
but
point.
the things that I love is that Way Big is just so big that is so big that you just can't really use him responsibly in most situations, and that's why you don't just use him to solve every problem.
Yeah, that's why you can't just go up to any like random villain and be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get huge," because like very rarely are you in any kind of area that would be okay with it. Like if you tried to use way big in just like any average area, there'd be a lot of collateral damage. You'd ruin a lot of lives and a lot of homes would be wrecked. Like he's a very situational alien.
Yeah, I feel like the trick to a good Ben 10 alien is making sure that it has like a couple of gimmicks. Um, because I always end up gravitating towards the ones that have like do a couple of gimmicks really well instead of like having one gimmick but they don't have like the enough extra stuff for it. Like I feel like the reason why like Chroma Stone ended up sort of displacing Diamond Head is that Diamond Head's one thing is that he has hard skin, but it's better to have like more specialized tools for whatever it is you're fighting, and therefore Chroma Stone's more useful because he absorbs like lasers and junk.
Yeah, but they ended up being weirdly linked, like genetically somehow, because I think Chromastone like turned into Diamond Head at some point, but then he was still able to use them separately somehow. I don't remember.
I remember something like that, and
There
I
was, there
remember
was,
unremembering it somehow.
yeah, that's one of those events that kind of feels like a fever dream where you're like, did that happen?
Like his one I love I like to imagine that in the writers room they're coming up with cool aliens, and then what was the one that could just straight up just absorb electricity, but he was too good at it, so he ended up just being like Rogue from X-Men.
Oh, who was that? Was it was that feedback?
Feedback, yeah. Where
Yeah.
like where they're like they made him too cool, and he was so cool that he started like taking over the Omnitrix or something.
Yeah,
And there's something
feedback
really
is
funny
great.
about that where it's just like, oh, we built him too we built him too good, and now he's the only one Benton wants to use because like any enemy is like, oh, I just they have lasers. I absorb their laser. I absorb their lasers. Oh, they have like super strength. I absorb their super strength.
Oh, and Stevenson also pointed out that Diamond Head can also like morph himself into like diamond-shaped weapons. So it's not just that he's
Yeah,
hard as diamonds. He actually has like some cool shape-shifting powers too. I forgot about that.
my
Also, yeah, feedback is great.
when I was a kid, my
Dude, we gotta
version.
play the game. You gotta read your line.
Look, pal, the camera takes a picture automatically whenever someone passes by. They could be slimy, creepy, fast, or strong.
It
They could
could
be any shape and size.
They could be made out of diamonds, they could be made out of fire, they could be some kind of swamp monster. It doesn't matter. It would see them. Uh...
They could be voiced by Tara Strong. They could be not voiced by Tara Strong.
But rest assured, we will know if it's Tara Strong or not.
Ah, I'm Miss
uh,
Minutes.
uh.
And it took a picture of Will Powers. And we know that because of. Dang it!
I have to ask him about that photograph. Look at this
photograph.
photograph! Thank you.
Oh well, let's try and get. What do you mean? We just fast traveled back to the room?
Yeah, we just fast traveled back to the room to not do anything at all. Alright,
I had a few Ben 10 aliens ideas when I was a kid. And one of them was basically just wild vines and humongosaur, where it was a plant that could just get really, really big, which was good for like crowd control and stopping like floods and carrying things out of the way. Um, and I had one. I think I named it like Bandersnatch. It was, but only because like it was a weird, not well described creature.
right.
And I had one that was where I was like, okay, I like the concept of Wild Mutt, but I think he needs a little more. And so basically I made it something that was sort of like Wild Mutt with cannon bolts, and he would sort of fold into like a stony ball, and he was from a planet that was like really hostile, like Venus, like a sulfuric thing. And so he could eat dangerous stuff. He could smell all sorts of stuff in the air, and he was like resistant to corrosive materials and such.
Oh, neat. I also remember thinking
Yeah,
that Humongosaur also just liked bipedal wildmutt with why I can't talk at all. Looked like a bipedal wildmutt with shape-shifting powers.
nah.
Really? Am I the only one who
I think
thought
it
who
might be the lips.
kind of felt like he looked like Wildmutt?
Maybe with the lips, if I'm just recalling, like right off the top of my head.
Maybe.
But
I mean,
otherwise, they're
except he
different
had
shades.
eyes. Like he had
They're
eyes,
different.
so
I was gonna say, but they're different shades of orange, and they have like Humongosaur has like actual defined scales, whereas Wildmutt has these sort of like scale like fur, where it's like strips, like carrot chunks.
right. Stevenson says feedback can only absorb bioelectrical energy.
Uh
Swamp vampire. Uh, and or voiced by Steve Blum or John DiMaggio. Who was that in reference to?
yeah, Lujack. What about something like Wildmutt, but he's also really stretchy, and he can like get large and small, and he's voiced by John DiMaggio.
What's funny is that the next line under that is Jenny saying, "What time is it?"
That was it. Which I also didn't realize that was a reference, and I was like, "Oh, it's like 9:14. Like we're doing an extra long episode because we're both chilling."
Yeah. Overkill. That'd be a cool alien name. The wait. Is that? Hold on. There was an ultimate version of Wild Mutt. Was it called Overkill, or was it just called Ultimate Wild Mutt? There's Overkill, a name for a concept alien. Wrath. Oh, I
Oh, John
remember Wrath.
DiMaggio.
I love Wrath. Wrath was cool, dude. That's your line,
What's going on, Nick? The
dude.
hosts are getting distracted again. We're
Dude,
talking about Ben 10
eating
for like
babies
an
is
hour.
not cool. Still
Was
your
it
line.
from Ben 10 or
Yeah,
Adventure Time?
that's from Ben 10. That's Wrath. That's
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was his first appearance. Like they were supposed to do some peacekeeping mission by bringing a baby to an alien or something, and then the
Oh
alien ate the
yeah, but like
baby,
one
and he
aliens were
just
like,
like
"Oh yeah, the like was it term the like larval form of this alien is a delicacy," and they look like a little ice cream dollop.
yeah, and Wrath like lost his shit and was just like, never talk to me again. I love Wrath. He's one of my favorites.
They also have a disagreement where one's like, "Oh, I want it this way, but I'm allergic," or what is it like? But I want onions. The other one's like, "Oh, well, I hate onions and I want it animal style." And I remember looking it up, and like animal style includes onions. So I feel like it's like maybe they had different like definitions of what animal style meant.
Right. Uh.
Oh said that he was
Steve
sleeping in his dressing room.
Steven says Overkill is the alien with the red, green, and blue eyes. That sounds so familiar. How do I not remember Overkill?
Yeah, hold on, let me look this up.
Yeah, look up Overkill from Benton. You should read your line first, though.
Okay, I see the spooky comic version, and then I see the one that looks like the antagonist from Monsters Inc.
You eat water deuce?
Chameleon.
Chameleon! I forgot about Chameleon!
Yeah. Chameleon, it's funny how, like, technically, it's funny how, like, you would think he would have more, like, chameleons, like, what's the word? Like, color changing, like, hiding, like, aliens, but he often either just turns into, like, gray matter and is too small for people to find, or, I don't know, he turns into what was that? The butterfly, the spooky butterfly ice one.
You think he'd be involved in more stealth missions?
Yeah, the no, but but where he's like, oh, if I need to sneak up on someone, and I'll just turn into the, the ice butterfly one that can go intangible like a ghost and
Yeah.
just kind of float around.
Yeah, as you do. Your line.
Now there's a photo of him going to the studio.
Don't look at me. How should I know? What? Why are you mad at me? Stop being mad at me. What to do? What do you think?
Excuse me. The photo the detective was talking about is the problem here. And I know we got sidetracked and like just sort of fast traveled to another place, and now we're back at the office, but I really should talk to him more.
yeah, we probably should. Well, that's hard to say without saying that. Fuck, I forgot. Whatever. But if it is Powers in that photo, his alibis is whatever. Photographic proof. Only one person went to the scene of the crime before the murder took place, and there's a photograph to prove it. Ghost Freak, says Stevenson. I remember Ghost Freak. Ghost Freak was cool. He had that whole arc where he became evil.
I love when like an alien is spooky enough to, or disruptive enough, and I guess to like get their own thing. That's why I think in retrospect it was funny that Feedback was like, oh, Feedback was really good, and and he's like, haha, me on my own thing, or that's how I vaguely remember it.
It was.
But yeah, I love the concept that Ghost Freak is so much of a ghost that he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave the Omnitrix by.
I like that they had a whole episode with Big Chill that was like, oh, is Big Chill doing the Ghost Freak thing where he just has a will of his own and is weird? And it's like, nah, Big Chill's just pregnant somehow.
Yeah, and it's just, I like that being, I'm like okay with that being canon, like in universe, in the sense that like they're aware of it and just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just too weird.
It's just too weird. No one ever brings it up.
Yeah, I turned into an alien that's parthenogenic. It went and set up some eggs, and those eggs hatched, and the aliens flew away into space.
And the whole event involved me eating lava for some reason. I'm not sure what that was about.
It probably has something to do with, like, you know how like mosquitoes, they normally eat like nectar. They only drink blood when they're like breeding, because they need the extra like nutrients.
Right.
I figure it's like that with Big Chill, where it can sort of just siphon heat from like the air and cool things down, but when it's pregnant, it needs to like generate a lot of, I don't know, negative heat energy or something. And that's why it needs to eat something really, really hot.
Right. Makes sense. Your line.
I guess it makes sense that I guess it makes sense that that person is the killer then.
The Killer 7.
7 killers!
The Killer 8! What's Killer 8? Is that a sequel? No, it's the hard mode to Killer 7.
Oh. I love additional modes. It's kind of like Journey to the Savage Planet had or Journey to the Savage Planet had old game minus. It's like New Game Plus, except you can play it at the start. You have a limited amount of lives, and there's a timer.
Ugh,
Yeah.
sounds awful.
Apparently, the joke is that that's how they originally built it, and then I guess realized that it wasn't as fun.
Yeah.
The old game minus.
Yeah, you're lying.
What do we do, Nick?
Maybe there was someone else who could have gone to the scene other than Powers? Let's take a look. Maybe that security lady missed someone.
One thing's for sure, if there are any clues, they'll be in that studio.
Alright, I guess back to the studio then. Can we go into Studio 1 yet? No, still no. It's right there. It's right there. Look, we have a card key for studio employees granting entry to Studio 1. And Studio 1's right there. Just let me go to Studio 1. Did I miss anything in this area? Oh wait, maybe if I clicked on it. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. You alright there, dude?
A bug flew into my mouth.
That sounds awful.
Let's
Joe.
go.
What?
That's my in-universe explanation. I don't know what actually happened.
Oh, okay.
Let's go in and check it out, Nick.
Alright.
It's part of a steak that I stole, and I was chewing on it. And oh.
It sounds like something Janna from Star vs. the Forces of Evil would say. I wonder if this card key we borrowed from the dressing room will work. Beep. It opened!
Alright, we're in.
She's way too happy for someone visiting a crime scene. You need to calm the fuck down, lady. Now we can go inside. October
amazing.
16, Studio 1.
It's filming on Mount Fuji.
Mount Fuji. What
I
is it?
forget where that joke was from. Wasn't it like a Game Grumps thing?
I have no idea.
Like I thought you were the one who told me it. Where like whenever there's like a silence, you just add like it's raining on Mount Fuji, and
No.
as like a recurring gag.
No, I've never even heard
No?
that. What?
Okay, I don't know where I heard.
I don't
it
know
then.
where you picked that up from.
But then I see the Mount Fuji in the background. I'm like, it's filming on Mount Fuji.
It's filming on Mount Fuji.
Um,
Heyo, Joe C90 is here. He says, "Heyo, guys."
Hey,
What's
we're
up,
actually
Joe
having
C90?
we're actually having a extra long episode. I was actually thinking of wrapping it up here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna wrap it up after we get done with this dialogue here, because I also wanted to do that. I just wanted to get into this place first before we called it. You're real quiet all of a sudden.
Doesn't it give you the shivers, Nick? That white tape, so real.
Well, the evil magistrate did die here, and the steel samurai killed him. So yeah, that tape's pretty fucking real. The murder weapon was the samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me. Alright, and we will discover more.
Look how wide those pants are. Go back for just a second
Wait,
so they can see it.
hang on, let me see.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, look at the outline.
Okay, yeah, what is this shit?
But that's like standard, really wide. That's standard for like samurai
It's
pants.
very wide.
My problem, that as we'll see later in this series,
Yeah,
is
once
that
you actually
person wearing
see
them
the
is too
costume,
long.
you'll see
The
that
person is too short.
yeah, the person's literally too short to be wearing those pants, which should come up in the case, but it never does, and it makes me so mad.
It's very odd.
So infuriating. Anyway, we're gonna call it here. Thank you, guys.
And because Lujack has always wanted to do this, you do the outro. You start the outro bit.
Oh yeah. I'm reminding you guys to take care.
Stay awesome.
Tape up your crime scenes.
And don't wear pants that are way too long. You could trip.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bum, bum, bum.